This is Sensus Chi, coming out of the realm of common sense and biting the wall of sense loss. I'll provide an update on the current situation of the Middle East war. Donald Trump, President of the United States, announced on his social media platform Truth Social on May 18th that he canceled the planned U.S. military attack on Iran scheduled for May 19th. President Trump explained that Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Saudi Arabia's de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed requested a delay of the attack by 2 to 3 days due to ongoing negotiations. In addition, U.S. officials and related sources told Axios that these Gulf region leaders were concerned that if the United States launched additional attacks on Iran, they would have to bear the consequences. They were especially concerned that Iran might retaliate by attacking their energy and oil infrastructure. President Trump said Gulf leaders believe the U.S. and Iran can reach a satisfactory agreement acceptable to the U.S., which would prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. President Trump said if negotiations fail, he has ordered Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane, and the U.S. military to stay ready to launch a major attack on Iran at any time. Iran's latest counterproposal does not appear to meet the demands of the United States. Reuters reported on May 18 that Iran made a new proposal with conditions much like those the United States had previously rejected. According to a May 18 Axios report, a senior U.S. official and a source said Iran's counterproposal lacks any pledge to stop uranium enrichment or surrender its highly enriched uranium stockpile. The U.S. official said the Trump administration finds Iran's proposal insufficient. A media outlet linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reported on May 18 that major differences persist between the U.S. and Iran, and asserted Iran will never agree to end the war in exchange for nuclear-related concessions. It is reported that the U.S. demands remain the same to this day. The United States maintains its position that Iran must hand over its highly enriched uranium to the U.S., dismantle its nuclear facilities, and suspend uranium enrichment activities for at least 20 years. Iran seems to be further formalizing control over the Strait of Hormuz, which some say contradicts the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The newly formed Persian Gulf Strait Authority stated on May 18 via X that they are the official body representing the Iranian regime in managing the Strait of Hormuz. Iran asserts that because the Strait of Hormuz is in its territorial waters, its actions are legal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Article 37 of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea defines international straits as those used for navigation connecting the high seas or exclusive economic zones. In addition, Article 38 states that all ships and aircraft have the right of transit passage through such straits, and Article 44 prohibits coastal states like Iran from impeding or suspending passage. The Persian Gulf Strait Authority stated that full cooperation with authorities is needed to navigate designated areas, warning that unauthorized passage will be considered illegal. This is seen as Iran trying to limit passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media also said about 1,500 ships are waiting for Iran's approval to pass. This seems like a strategy to show the international community that Iran fully controls the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, media outlets affiliated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps have been continuously making threatening statements about commercial activities and digital infrastructure connected to the Strait of Hormuz. The Pars news agency, linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, reported on May 18 that after Iran took control of the strait, it could require licenses, monitoring, and usage fees for submarine fiber optic cables. The Pars news agency warned that issues with this submarine communication network could cause major direct and indirect damage to both the Middle East and the global economy. In fact, major submarine cables between continents pass through the Strait of Hormuz, serving as the digital connection network between Asia, the Gulf region, and Europe. Of the 7 main cables, 3 connect directly to Iran and go through the Strait of Hormuz. Java News, linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, previously warned that intentional simultaneous damage to several submarine cables could widely disrupt communications and digital infrastructure. U.S. Central Command reported that from April 13, when Iran started its port blockade, to May 18, the U.S. military diverted 85 merchant ships and disabled the operations of 4 vessels. It was also reported that the U.S. military diverted the routes of an additional 4 merchant ships from 10 a.m. on May 17 to 1 p.m. on May 18. The Israeli military said it conducted a May 17 airstrike near Baalbek in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, killing a senior Palestinian Islamic Jihad commander. On May 18, the Israeli military announced in a statement that the target of the airstrike was Wael Mahmoud Abdel Halim, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad's Bekaa Valley operations commander. According to the Israeli side, Halim had been coordinating the integration of PIJ fighters into Hezbollah combat units and was also known to be involved in planning joint Hezbollah-PIJ attacks against the Israeli military in southern Lebanon. If there are more updates, I'll make and upload a video. This concludes the video. Thank you.
Ja.